Microsoft's high-performance Xbox One 10th Games consoles goes on sale in less than 2 weeks and it's on course to become the most powerful system on the market. It's going up against Sony's range-topping PS4 Pro system, as both can output games at 4K resolutions and 60 FPS. However, Microsoft only launched its revamped Xbox One S just 6 months ago, offering 4K video playback for movies and HDR high dynamic range features that bolster contrast ratios and game for more realistic lighting effects. With that in mind, is it worth holding on for Microsoft's high-end Xbox One X, or opting for the regular, cheaper one? Share is what sets the consoles apart and which one you should buy. Hardware: the Xbox One S is powered by a 1.7 GHz 8-core processor paired with a 914 MHz integrated AMD graphics chip along with 8 GB of RAM, says GameSpot. This means it's 7.1% faster than 2013's original Xbox One, although The Verge says it's unlikely that most players would even notice the small boost. However, the One S begins to look slightly underpowered when compared to the latest addition in the Xbox family. Inside the Xbox One X is a custom 1172 MHz processor that will ship with 6 teraflops of graphical power, reports The Verge. That's 1.8 teraflops more than its PS4 Pro, which is helped by a custom liquid-cooled graphics processor. It will also be smallest Xbox in the range, although the site says the One X is 8.4 pounds 3.8 kilograms is 2 pounds 900 grams heavier than the One S. Performance: the Xbox One X's custom internals means it's able to play games at 4K resolution and 60 FPS, as demonstrated on Forza Motorsport 7 at the E3 Games show last week. This would put it above all of the home consoles currently available. The majority of PS4 Pro games are either of 4K graphics or 60 FPS, with only a handful of titles able to achieve both. The visual fidelity of the game was impressive, says The Guardian, and the console was able to show highly detailed car models and scenery in a way not possible on the regular One S. However, both the One X and S feature HDR playback, meaning blacks and bright lights look more intense and realistic. Buyers will need to invest in a 4K television with HDR support to see the benefits of both consoles, but Engadget says the Xbox One X uses supersampling to push more detailed graphics on regular 1080p displays. The Xbox One S can play most games at 1080p and 30 FPS, with a selection running at 60 FPS. While it may seem underpowered compared to its sibling, the One S still offers 4K video playback on Blu-ray movies and videos streamed from Amazon Prime and Netflix. Games: as the Xbox One S comes with HDR lighting effects, it does offer some visual benefits over the regular console. Only a handful of games, such as Forza Horizon 3 and Battlefield 1, support the feature, but this is expected to grow with a slew of titles due out later this year. The Xbox One X also has the HDR features plus 4K resolution visuals, although, as with HDR, gamers will only see 4K graphics on games optimized for the Xbox One X, including Assassin's Creed Origins and F1 2017. However, Kotaku says games will still look better on Xbox One X thanks to supersampling, which improves the performance of titles for those who don't have a 4K television set. It is also expected to stabilize games with uneven frame rates and potentially boost titles running at 900p to 1080p. It's a similar feature to Boost Mode on its PS4 Pro rival. While that does not completely overhaul the graphics, it does provide a more consistent frame rate on titles that need more power to run smoothly. Compatible TVs: anyone looking to buy either console will need to consider the television they are going to use. The Xbox One X promises to deliver 4K resolution gaming with HDR lighting effects, so players will need a 4K and HDR-compatible TV to see the full benefits. However, Microsoft will offer a supersampling function on the One X to make current games look better than on an original Xbox One or Xbox One S if you have a 1080p TV. Business Insider says this feature reduces the look of harsh edges around characters and objects, while some games may even pack more detail in when supersampling is enabled. Nevertheless, these are small improvements over what is currently offered on the regular Xbox One and One S, so it's probably not worth upgrading to the Xbox One X if you already have one of these, concludes the site. While the prices of 4K and HD-enabled TVs have depreciated substantially over the past few years, cheaper models on the market still sell for around £600. Considering the One X costs £449, those wanting to play games in 4K and need a new TV to do so will have to spend around £1,000. On the other hand, the One S only outputs gameplay at 1080p, which the majority of HD TVs will support, but the entry-level console still has 4K movie playback and HDR lighting effects, functions that can only be seen on relatively new TV sets. Price pre-orders for the Xbox One X are open, with Amazon offering the console at £449.99. This comes with the console and controller, although you can add in a copy of Forza Motorsport 7 for an extra £40. There's also a launch version called the Project Scorpio Edition, which is the name Microsoft gave to the console when it was announced at the E3 Games show in 2016. This also retails for £449.99 on Amazon and has the Project Scorpio name inscribed on the front of the console. Meanwhile, the Xbox One S is considerably cheaper at £214.99 on Amazon. That gets you a 500GB console, a wireless controller and a copy of Forza Horizon 3. There's also a version that swaps the open-world racing game for Minecraft, but that costs an extra £5. Price. Not only is the Xbox One X is the most powerful system in Microsoft's console lineup, at a pound shy of £450, it's also the most expensive and more than double the One S's price tag. It's also £100 more than its rival the PS4 Pro. Fans will have to wait until the 7th of November to buy the One X, and that could be delayed if supply can't meet demand. However, Engadget says prospective owners will need to spend even more, as they will also need a 4K TV with HDR support. These have dropped in price dramatically over the past year, adds the site, but are still an expensive proposition. Those looking for a console to plug into a 1080p screen may want to consider the One S, as buyers will be able to start playing Xbox One games for a fraction of the price.